Hello everybody, I will show you my new DPS dreadnaught build. So as you can see, I play a lot of Vanguard and I just recently built up my DPS fighter just to try out some things about it. And I did some toms and the results are pretty nice. I like the results, so that's why I'm showing you my build today. It has I would say that it requires a lot of mechanics or really a high skill to do what I can do, but there's always the easy way. So let's start the build. First of all, the helmet. You can play with the Protege Visor Helm because it's a Tom build. So it's basically a single target for Tower of the Mad Mage. So you can use the Protege for 5% more damage on the mountain, which works in Tom. And for the overload, I play with Corrupt Black Ice, like all the DPS does. So you can just type this name in the trade house and you can buy some. It's really good for AP gain. And the modification, the armor reinforcement kit is power, because we like power. Ebonized breastplate, because you do a lot of damage and it gives a lot of power, so yeah. I play with the Elven Battle because I often have no stamina, so I like to regen my stamina, but if you have a bark shield, it works too. I play with the demonics and defense slots, but you can play with anything. You can play with the radiance if you want, or anything really. Doesn't matter, it's just that I have demonics free to slot there. And everything is power reinforcement kits. The gloves, like the Lion Guard, if you don't have them, you can equip the Vivify Primal gloves. They're pretty similar, but those ones give more stats overall and more good average power amount. So you get 5k power just for free in Tom, because you attack a lot and the boss doesn't really attack you often. So it's really good. Tactical, like in all utility slots, because I'm originally a tank, so I like to have all tacticals in utility slots. And also it works with the boots, the rusted iron leggings, which decrease my incoming healing by 25%. So by having a lot of tacticals, I get a lot of incoming healing to compensate the 25% loss. The Lion Guard, the Lion Heart set, you don't have to equip it. If you don't have it, you can equip the Burnish set. It works pretty fine. The weapon enchantment, I tried the Vorpal compared to the Bile Thorn, and for the fighter Dreadnaught, the Vorpal is way better, because your hits are really insane. You do a lot of damage with every single hits, so having a Bile Thorn is not really necessary. It does not proc a lot, and the damage is not as high as having a Vorpal. And of course Radiant in all offensive slots, because Radiants are strong. The modification, I play with AV Slash. That's the only at will I'm using, pretty much. So yeah, use that if you want. The off end, I play with power, quit severity. Nothing really there. Yeah, I talked about that. The set bonus. I play with the music box set, because in Tom the music box is insanely strong. But if you don't have it, and if you don't want to buy it, you can play with the new set. It gives 2.5% damage and it's good. But the music box is way stronger, for me at least, because I get my daily each 20 seconds with what I do, which I will show you later after this build. So for the rings, I play with the Ebonized ring, 3% melee power, and the striking ring. I mean, I wanted to play with double striking ring, but my crit strike will be way overcapped. And for the modification, you can play with anything. I play with like combat advantage normally. I put stamina regen on this, I don't know why, but you can equip all combat advantage reinforcement kits and all radiance everywhere. So yeah, like music box, the ebony stained raid shirt because 3% more damage is always good, and I play with a single tenebrous because 24k damage, it's not bad in my opinion. I play with this one for more AP gain. You can play with the new ones for like movement speed if you want, but I like this one to get a bit more action point to get my daily faster. And for the artifacts, of course the music box is like always there because of the set, but the other three, if you don't have the books, you can play with which I will show you, but the books are best in slot. But I know that in ToMM, most groups want debuff artifact. So if you remove one, you lose the set bonus for the other two. So having like only two of them is pretty much useless. So if you run with a debuff group and everybody needs to put a debuff artifact, I would suggest to just remove all your books to equip a Blast Scepter, Book of the Vile Darkness, like in place of the two bottom books. And for your active book, you can equip like any debuff artifact you have. Personally, I play with the Vanguard banner because there's not a lot of people that has this debuff artifact. Most people has like the knives or the Blast Scepter or the white book. So that's what I play with. The Blast Scepter, the Vile book, and the Vanguard banner, but you can play with like Lantern or Black Dragon if you want. So yeah, I will show you the stats. Right now, my stats are that. You can pause the video if you want. Yeah, and my drinks are those ones. Like I put my drink, so I just pop one of those. Every single one in this line, so you can pause the video if you want to read what they do. So yeah, power. That's the important part. I play with Brazen Slash and AV Slash. I use Brazen Slash only to regen my stamina because of the shirt. Like if my stamina is under like 75%, I lose 3% more damage, so I use Brazen Slash only to regen my stamina if I don't have it. And I always use AV Slash. I will show you later what is my combo. And I use Bull Charge, Anvil of Doom, Commander Strike. Commander Strike is pretty strong because it just debuff the target for everybody that has physical damage, like barbs or rogues or Hunter Ranger, I think. Like with their melee stance. Paladins with like at wheels and all, like all the melee classes pretty much. Or so that's the power I play with. Anvil of Doom is really strong with the feats. But before the class feature, Combat Superiority, because this class is really relies on AV Slash and Enduring Vengeance. Be careful about Enduring Vengeance to like to get your vengeance above like 50%. Like when you are AFK here, you always lose it, so you need like 50 seconds for the 5 stacks to be up. So yeah, try to have your vengeance there most of the time, above 50%. And the feats, Weighted Vengeance, because Anvil of Doom, like, Empowerment is like way too strong. It gives like 1.2 million damage with one Anvil of Doom. And it reduces the cooldown, so it's like a really fast Anvil of Doom. Only 12 seconds for like 1.2 million is like pretty nice. Prepare Slam, I don't use it in ToMM, so it's like really useless in ToMM, but don't take the shield throw because it's even worse. Bowling Hatred, because with Weight of Vengeance you lose your vengeance a lot, so it's good to restore it with Whirling Hatred. I tried Crushing Blows, it procs a lot, but in Tom it's just impossible to maintain your Vengeance with Crushing Blows and White and Vengeance. So I lose a bit of damage, but it's way easier to maintain my Vengeance and do constant damage. Striker's Mark. When I use Commander Strike, my mow down daily. Yeah, I forgot about the daily. Play with mow down most of the time in single target. This one is just to remind me to activate mow down because it has like a targeting effect, shockwave. So I always use mow down in Tom. So yeah, I use it for more mow down power. I don't really like it because I lose the benefit of Commander Strike, which I would like to keep. Execution Cut, so you do more damage when the target is weak. That's it. The boons, it's pretty similar as like any other classes. You can take a screenshot if you want. Like its power, HP, movement speed, companion influence, bloodlust. Like if you want. Like with recharge speed, critical strike, basic stuff, critical severity, HP, revive sickness, and PvP is useless, PvP is useless. The companions I play with the bullet pop, but you can play with the stone of like IO stone that gives like power, crit, and combat advantage. But the bullet is good. Allo stone because fighters have 3 defense slots and there is not a lot of good defense companion, so the worst, like the better ones are the Stone of Allure, 10% incoming healing, 2k power, the Deep Crow, but if you're like your full group has the Raptor, equip the Raptor, but it's really rare that all the groups has a Raptor, so don't bother. Defense, the Splinter for 4% more crit severity, the Minstrel for 4k more power, the Conpi for 5% more power, but it's really expensive, so if you don't want to buy it because it's like 10 million, you can equip the Baby Owlbear. It does the job. It's not as powerful, but it does the job. Where is my Conpi now? Conpi. Okay, he's there. Okay, so Runestones, of course, 15. Play with the Silver Talisman for accuracy combat advantage with Empowered Runestone, power. The 12k combat advantage 1, power. The Green Ring for armor pen and defense with power and defense. And yeah, that's it. The mount, like double Gladiator's Guile, 1 combated maneuver, 1 artificer, and 1 shepherd. And everything is dominance or brutality. Like I don't really know a good combination of insignia bonuses. That's what like I put, and there's not a lot of good ones, so I just chose those for fun. Yeah, strength and dexterity like usual, and yeah, crit severity there. Yeah, pretty much it. So now I will show you the actual my rotation, because we all need a rotation to do damage in Tom, and my rotation is kind of like unique, I would say, because I make my life way harder than it can be. Okay, so just buff your vengeance, and okay, so that's what I do. So now, you see what I do? Like this melee attack. It's called the cancelling. Cancelling is a pretty like hard thing to do. Okay, so now the main thing is just to spam your encounters pretty much, and auto at willing. So the slow motion, you can use like your AV slash like normal way, like just keeping your finger on the trigger and use your encounters like between, but it's boring. My technique I do is I do AV slash, I block, I deblock, and I hit again, but really fast. So it does that. Sometimes I fucked up, so my shield just bash, but you know the general idea. I know that some people like wants to do the other one, like this thing, but it doesn't work well. Also, as you get, try to count the number of seconds it takes me to regen my daily. All right, let's go. Okay, start. I guess 2 dailies in like 20 seconds, I would say. If you didn't know, the daily is really like the action point is really affected by your shield. When you lift your shield and in your block mode, you'll regen a lot of action point. So that's why when I'm doing the cancelling, since like every second I'm going into my block stance, the game considers my character to always be in the block mode because it's just my hypothesis, but I think that like when we are in block mode, it regens like close to 50 action point, or like 25, between 25 and 50 action point per second. So as long as you activate your block once every second, you get the benefit of gaining the action point. So that's why the music box is that good, because you regen your action points super fast, which is like really fun to do in ToMM. You just spam your daily and you do a lot of damage. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want to experience by yourself, you can equip what I equipped and try the cancelling thing, because it's not as easy as it looks. Especially when we are in ToMM between 9 people and we have no idea like which tense we are in. Like sometimes you can be stuck into your attack mode and you would not even know it. So it takes like some experience to know your situation. So yeah, that was my build, and if you liked it, you can, or if you have any questions, you can send a comment in this comment section. So yeah, see you for another video. Bye bye!